Okay, very first few minutes on 2020 Beta 300 RR. So a lot of improvements this year on this bike. Most notably is the counterbalance engine. It's definitely smoother than before. So what is new with the 2020 Beta 300 RR? Well, I'm going to start with the obvious, that is the counterbalance motor. This improves power delivery throughout the RPM range. I'm going to say it's a lot smoother than the previous versions. Maybe not quite as smooth as my TPI bike, but then again, I'm comparing a 250 to a 300 here, so that's not quite a fair comparison. Really impressed with how nimble and light this bike feels. I'm usually a 250 guy, but on the betas I think I prefer the 300. Other than the motor, there's actually quite a long list of improvements. This is a totally redesigned bike this year, and Beta has really refined a lot of things. I'm loving the lower seat height. Really helps in the tight stuff. The subframe has been redesigned and is now stronger. Also, the electrical components and oil reservoir are housed inside the new tailpiece. The new frame is lighter and the new airbox design is more waterproof. I also noticed the air filter looks exactly like the KTM Husqvarna air filters. Be interesting to see once I get on the older models and even the 200 and the 125, the difference in the vibrations. Few other improvements on the bike for 2020. Handlebars are a little bit wider, The foot pegs have been redesigned, and the kickstand foot is a little bit larger. Still might be a little bit too small though.
So this demo day is all on private property. Bunch of trails back here on the property. Pretty cool place. So thanks to the property owners for letting us do this here. Thanks to Beta Canada for bringing us out to ride these bikes. So pretty easy terrain, but feel for the suspension. I think it's pretty flush.
The forks and the shock have been revalved. The fork has a new inner cartridge that lowers the center of gravity. The canister on the shock has been rotated in towards the center of the bike, so you're not going to be rubbing your boot on it anymore.
No surprises on the suspension. Seems pretty predictable. It's going where I want it to go. It's really slick in here today. A little faster pace than the usual ride I do. So the finishing touches on the 2020 bike. Looks like Beta's done a lot of work cleaning up the electrical, moving the gas tank a little back. The gas tank's also bigger on all the bikes. Gonna help the handling too. The gas tank being a little farther back, more centralized weight distribution. Spacing on the gearing on this transmission, I think it's pretty good. No complaints. I'm not hunting for a gear.
I've never really felt comfortable on the wide ratio transmission on the KTM XCWs. This Beta transmission seemed really good to me. I didn't have any problem with the spacing of the gearing.
Jetting seems to be spot on. No flat spots at all. Throttle response is pretty good.
So first impression with the 2020 Beta 300RR. I'm really impressed with the improvements Beta's made over the last couple years. This bike was a blast to ride. I think 2020 is going to be a big year for Beta, and this is definitely a bike you should take a look at, especially for those of you that are not quite ready to go to fuel-injected two-stroke. I'm looking forward to getting more seat time on this bike, and I also had a chance to ride most of the 2020 betas over this weekend. For more content on the 2020 betas, make sure you're subscribed and stay tuned to the channel in the next few weeks. Once again, I want to say a big thank you to Beta Canada for this opportunity, and thank you for watching. See you soon.
That's another lap on that 300 RR 2020.